when you see a non-key number like move from 4.5 to 5.5, it doesn't really give you any value.
I got one equation for you right now.
Can Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know.
Live the high life.
It's a close game.
The Taylor Heineke life. Yeah.
To bite some kneecaps.
I love this pick. Tampa has been overrated all season long, and the people who make the books are still on this. They got blown out by Blake Purdy.
This is a trap game if I've ever seen one.
Spread's the way to go. You just have to know how to bet it. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I am, of course, Math, and this is Smash. Welcome to another week of Betting Bros, Math versus Smash. We are now on week 2. We are brought to you by the Scene Snobs. Like and subscribe. All the things that are down in this corner. I don't know why I'm pointing too far. There. Nope. We're getting close.
Right here.
There it is. It's under Smash.
Subscribe button, son.
Hit all.
Join us and make some money.
Literally all the social medias. And just a word to the wise here. We are pre-recording this now, so we will be on the chat at 6 if anyone wants to chat about the picks and things of that nature. So we will be around, but we have time to do the show as well as time to get it out right before the Thursday night game. So with that, let's start with our picks from last week. And I'm telling you, it was a good week. Both Math and Smash had a great week. Let me bring up the overlay here. 4 losses, 8 wins. Really liked a lot of these bets. Won a lot on Jacksonville. Did really well on Miami. Did really well on Philadelphia. Let me tell you, the Seahawks bet was not good. And the Cincinnati bet was not good. Now, who told us that Cincinnati was going to lose? Smash.
That game made me some money, son. Give me that cash.
I told Smash before this aired that if I choose to bet Cincinnati against Cleveland early in the season again, that he can punch me in the dick whenever he wants.
Straight up cock knocker.
Terrible bet. Apparently Joe Burrow cannot play.
Play the clip.
Oh, it's coming. Don't you worry. The clip is coming.
Mom, I don't want to lose to the Browns. Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns, and they're historically the worst franchise in NFL history.
2 words. Myles Garrett.
I really should have listened to that girl, but she was wrong last year. But that wasn't Cincinnati, and that was at the end of the year.
And it was a different Cleveland. Ladies and gentlemen. This is your future AFC North champion, Cleveland Browns.
And I know this is 348 days away, but next season, just put it on your calendar. Mark it in your calendar. Blind bet $100
check
against Cincinnati, week 1. I'm telling you, it's going to hit, and you're going to be just fine. So with that, we'll get to the slate here. We're going to start with obviously the Thursday night game, and this is a toughie. I believe it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota and Philadelphia, correct?
I don't think it's tough at all. I don't think this is a tough pick at all.
Well, I should say I don't think it's tough at all. I have Philly in this pretty much regardless of where the spread goes. I think Philly lambasted the Vikings, but Philly had a bad injury report, and the number moved from 7 all the way down to 6, and now it's back up to 6.5. That number's going to bounce around until tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to matter personally. Okay.
I think Philadelphia wins this game by 10 at least. The Vikings center is out. Centers being out is bad. Bad.
It's already at 6.5.
Yeah, it's already back up to 6.5. But a lot of that movement's probably just related to the way that the injury report came out. But I still think I bet it at 7 on Sunday night because I didn't want to lose 7. So that was the way I bet it. I think it probably comes back up to 7. But for now, if you like Philly, 6.5 is a great number. So
take the points with Philly. Avoid the Vikings like the plague in daily because they bad.
Yeah, I don't even think Justin Jefferson's very good this year. I think he's probably still a 1,000-yard receiver, maybe 8 touchdowns. But he's not going to be the number 1 player in fantasy this year.
Every time he's faced Darius Slay has locked him down.
Well, it is Slay Island.
Slay Island, man.
We'll talk about not Slay. We're previously located Slay Island later. Don't worry, we'll get to that one too. Let's go, Lions. All right. So for the next one here, I'll get out of Philly. Just Philly's a good bet.
Hammer Philly in the points. Hammer Philly in the points all day.
Hurts is probably a good pickup. Gainwell is a great pickup in fantasy football apparently this week. Because Swift barely touched the field. Wow, big shock there.
Two snaps. That's it.
And they signed Rashad Penny to put him on the non-active list? Question mark? I don't know. So all I know is Philly's
Alabama North. I don't know what they think about with their signings all the time, but I am gonna bet them.
Yeah, Philadelphia is just gonna.
I'm just gonna call them Alabama North from now on.
I don't know if Minnesota wins a game this year.
Minnesota wins a game.
I think they win like maybe 6 or 7, but I don't think.
Oddly enough, I think they could surprise the Lions just because like how the matchup works up and split with them.
The Lions,
I think Kirk Cousins is like
the Lions suck on the road against Minneapolis. That's a tough stadium to play in for whatever reason. So the next game we're going to go to, we have Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati early in the season. I'm not going to bet them. It's a division game. We have no idea what Baltimore even is. They barely had to play to beat Houston.
Cincinnati couldn't stop the run last week.
Yeah, so I mean, they might pound the rock, but they don't have Dobbins. So it's like,
they don't need them. They got Justice, son.
Fine. Well, Justice it is.
About to be unleashed.
All right. Also, RIP for Dobbins. That's probably the career, I would think.
I don't know why he came back this season.
Yeah, it's tough.
Season-ending injuries at this point.
Yeah, he's probably done. So RIP to Dobbins. Justice is going to be a good cheap option. Lamar could run on him too, but I think Cincinnati could score a lot too. I mean, Baltimore's
the Ravens' defense is good. I don't know, man.
Their defensive line is good. So if they get pressured at Burrow, I completely agree. But their corners aren't that good.
Looking at the line, it's 3.5 to the Bengals. So
I will say, I'm not going to bet this game, but if you like, I make this game essentially 3-4 points. Now, if you are going to bet this game,
money line Ravens.
Or take Baltimore at 3.5. That's a great getting.
But look at the difference right now. It's plus 150 if you take the money line. If they cover, they're going to win.
Fair.
So that's it. That's the difference right there between your 200 points swing in terms of betting. I'm taking Baltimore with the money line.
Yep. I'm not going to take either of these. I'm not taking any side in this game. I think there's some decent.
They pulled Burrow in the fourth quarter.
But yeah.
Tell me he's healthy. Tell me you're not healthy without telling me you're not healthy.
Yeah. If you can get on either side of 3.5 on this game, do it. But obviously to the side that you want is the way you want to do that. Or Bengals 2.5 if it falls is probably a decent bet too. But
money line Ravens, take that plus. Right now it's at plus 165.
And you'll see it's a theme. I'm completely avoiding this division this week, but we'll continue on. The next one, we have the lowly Chicago Bears going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby.
I said this last week. It doesn't matter on offense as long as they don't turn the ball over.
True.
The Buccaneers played good defense.
So this line is Tampa Bay by 2.5. I love it. I love this line. Tampa can cover this line.
Can Baker turn in another effort where he doesn't turn the ball over?
Did it for the Rams.
I'm taking the Bucks with the points because it's at 2.5, and I think they can beat him by at least a field goal. But it's entirely contingent. I believe Baker can play without turning the ball over. If he turns the ball over, it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah. So my thought on this is
also don't play anybody but Justin Fields in this.
Yeah, no, there is no fantasy options in this.
No fantasy options in it, unless you want to take a stretch play on Evans catching another touchdown this week.
Don't even try to play like Tampa Bay's defense for Fields to throw a pick because he's not throwing the ball far enough.
No, he doesn't. He just throws incomplete passes.
It's either incomplete passes that are 4 yards down the field.
I saw some talking heads talking about Justin Fields saying if he can't pan out this year, he's a bust. That is bonkers. Bonkers. Do you know? Okay, Hall of Famer right here. Do you want to know his stats his third season? They were garbage because the Niners were bad.
Dan, the NFL stands for 3 things, and that's not for long.
Not for long. I know. But get this kid an offensive line.
Oh, I agree. I think Fields is fine. Also, I think Fields can throw further down the field than 5 yards. Actually, at Ohio State, he never threw short. He threw deep
all the time. And so I don't know, man. I feel bad for Justin Fields stuck there in Chicago. But they're going to lose that. They're going to lose.
Chicago fans keep whining that they can't find a quarterback. It's like, no, your system is just horrendous.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm betting the Buccaneers to cover. It's at -2.5 right now. Bucks cover and win.
Yeah, I think that's an easy bet. I just think if you're going to give me Chicago and you're going to give me that close, I'm just going to bet that Chicago somehow screws this up. Next, we have the other game I'm definitely not betting this week, and that's Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh got embarrassed at their home stadium. So, but this game's also home. So I'm like, okay, do they get embarrassed twice? Is Cleveland good? Are they not good? I don't know. And because of this, it's lined at 2, so no one else knows either.
No one else knows either. It's not like anybody's running out there like.
There's no value in the number. Now, if it goes 2.5 one way, maybe you go the other. I don't know, but I just don't think there's any value in this game.
Am I reading this correctly? And it's a doubleheader Monday night again?
Yes, it's doubleheader Monday night.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
Yeah, this is a Monday night game.
I'm taking the Browns, but the money line, even though they're both close right now, I'm taking the Browns, the money line, because I could see this game coming down to a field goal to win.
Once again, I mean, maybe a contrarian Deshaun Watson pick, I guess, but I don't like
okay, so the hard. I mean, I watched a good part of that game last week. Deshaun Watson is not Deshaun Watson. He struggled finding open receivers. He ran a lot. And everybody was sounding the death knell on Chubb. I'm sorry, that guy still looks like a freaking freight train.
Yeah, he looks good, but
it's going to come down whether or not
Chubb and Cleveland's defense. I guess I don't know. But Kenny doesn't throw picks, so you're just going to get.
I don't know. He might throw some picks with Myles Garrett sitting in his face. Myles Garrett was in the backfield every single play against Cincinnati.
Tomlin would hand the ball off 3 times and punt rather than throw interceptions. So I don't know. I don't have any lean in this game. I think
I could easily see the game being like 13-12.
Yeah, it could be, and that's very common for this team.
That's why I'm going money line Browns. Money line Browns.
Fair enough. I know about in this game.
Browns start the year 2-0.
Fair enough. Now let's move to another. This is actually a really interesting game because it's a very open line. We have Green Bay at Atlanta.
I was so wrong last week about Green Bay.
See, I don't think you were. I just think the Bears are that bad. I'm betting Atlanta in this game, and because Green Bay's favored. I'm gonna take Atlanta money line. I'm gonna take the money because I don't know if either of these teams are good.
I'm taking. This is a tough game. This is why. But everybody's going to pay attention to the offense on both sides of this ball, and that's not what's going to win this game. The Falcons' defense is a lot better than advertised, and the Packers' defense is just as good as advertised.
Yeah. So
who do you think is going to make fewer mistakes? Do you think the Falcons or the Packers are going to make fewer mistakes?
Well, they're not going to let Ritter make mistakes. And I think they're going to let Love try to cook a little bit and then probably pull back if need be.
He looked good last week.
I like Atlanta in this game. I might be wrong, but I like the home team. Make Green Bay.
I'm avoiding it. I'm not betting it. It's everything. There's no edge here to bet. There's no.
My only edge is that I think that the market is giving too much credit to Green Bay for beating the Bears.
That defense could be a top 5 defense in the NFL.
It could be.
Too much credit? That is a great defense.
I'm willing to put a little on it just to see if I'm right or wrong.
I'm avoiding it. You sound like me now. I got a feeling. I thought you were paying attention to what do your numbers say here?
My numbers say Atlanta by 3. I have Atlanta still.
Go with the numbers. My gut says avoid it because there's no edge. But go with the numbers then.
Yeah, this is hashtag wrong team favored.
Wrong team favored. I agree. I think it should be flipped. I think it should be 1 point to Atlanta personally. But I'm not betting it.
Let's ask our boy down the ATL. He says it's too fast, it's too furious. My man Bijan, 3 touchdowns.
The under is 40.5, and it's tempting.
Bijan is going to score some tutties.
Oh, you think it's going to be a high-scoring game?
Did you see him glitch through two players? It looked like Madden.
Big difference running against the Green Bay Packers. Big difference.
I'm telling you, man, Bijan, Rookie of the Year. I like Bijan this game.
Amir Gibbs, Rookie of the Year.
There's not enough points in this game for it to be DFS relevant, but that being said, I like Bijan.
And hey, you want to actually, so Romeo Dubes, get your Dube on because I think he slides into the end zone for a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers.
I think so. If you want a cheap Romeo Dobbs, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he was $4,200 last week, and he made me some money in daily. I made $25 in daily last week.
Yeah, 3. He's a good receiver 3, I think, or a flex play.
Yeah. Like, just you got 4,000 left in the flex. Shove him in there. He and Brandon Ayuk last week, both. They made me money.
Next, we got another division game in the AFC. We have Indianapolis at Houston.
We have a dumpster fire meme because that's what this game is.
Anthony Richardson was better than I thought he'd be.
And he was mad he got pulled.
Well, yeah, because they could have won. I'm glad he was because I made a lot of money on that game.
Minshew came in and got, like, blasted. I mean, he didn't look bad or by any means, but that their offensive line is not good.
Now, I will say, I did open this up with Anthony Richardson, like, being, like, interception throwing every week. I don't know. He was pretty good with the ball.
Don't forget, their coaching staff is brand new with him. They're learning along. He could be this week one way, this week the completely other way. Like, I don't like this game. I'm staying away from this game as well. I feel weird this week. 2 games I'm not touching. The Packers and Falcons are both 1 point, like, undecided basically, and then the Colts and the Texans are 1 point.
We just went through 3 pick'ems. It'll come through a little further here because next, so Indianapolis, Houston, probably leave it alone.
I say leave it alone. And
Nico Collins is a great, fantastic.
Are you just gonna push him every week, Nico?
Yes,
Collins?
until he's over 5,000, you should always roster Nico Collins.
I will say this: Anthony Richardson, last I checked, was at 5,900.
Yeah, and I think he could still be very good. If he scores a touchdown and throws for another 200 yards, I mean, he's probably pretty good.
He had 21 ESPN points last week.
Yeah, I think he's fine. And if you get a cheap running back, maybe for Indy.
Although I will say this, DeMeco Ryans has the Texans playing like they want to win ball game.
Michael Pittman might not be bad either if he's cheap.
Avoid the running game.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson is their running game right now.
All right. So then moving forward, we have a great game. We have Kansas City on the road against Jacksonville.
Jacksonville at home.
Florida man cannot win this game for you.
Jacksonville at home. I'm taking Jacksonville. I want the spread.
Now, the one thing I will say, if Calvin Ridley is going to still be under $8,000, you put him in a lineup.
Oh, yeah.
That man is going to score a touchdown and 8 receptions every week.
Potentially this year's Calvin Ridley, and he looked like he was on a mission last week. So 2 of the catches he had. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. Everybody's on this guy's bandwagon. And I have him on one fantasy team, so I guess I'm kind of like grabbing on. I don't get it, man. The dude he's at 3rd season, not making the right decisions with the ball. Like, when is he going to start playing? Here's the difference. So Fields has nothing. It's just Fields and whatever. He's surrounded by a massive amount of talent. They have a great offensive line. They have Calvin Ridley. They have Travis Etienne in the backfield. They have a game plan that should suit his skills. And yet he's still only throwing for 240 and 2 TDs.
But the one nice thing about this is Lawrence is cheap, right? So before I get into my spread, I would do a Lawrence stack with Ridley and possibly either the tight end, or you could do Travis Etienne. You could either or.
Tight end's Ingram, right? Ingram?
Yeah, and then you could run it back with Kelsey. That would be really interesting.
I'm avoiding the daily because I think everybody in this game is going to be expensive. They're going to look at the defenses and say whatever. And if you're thinking, Etienne, they re-signed Jones, that defense is going to be short up. It's not the same defense the Detroit Lions played.
Very true. Now, I bet this game at 2.5 on Sunday. It's now 3.5. I bet it for value. So I have Kansas City. I might middle 3.5 with Jacksonville just for the fun of it and see if it lands 3. But I will say
Jacksonville at 3.5.
I like Kansas City.
Decided field goal.
And this is just a little betting tip for people. Check the lines on Sunday. Sunday night's a good time to check the lines. If you think a good team is lined under, if you think like a Kansas City or a Miami or a Dallas, all these teams, if they're lined under 3, then just bet it and you'll get value. You will probably get value. So that's the other thing to it. If you like numbers on Sunday, don't be afraid to bet them. It's only a week.
1 week.
So, all right. So I got Kansas City. I don't think we're really head to head on this one as much.
I want Jacksonville, but I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I want them because this game could be decided by a field goal. I want that 3.5.
Yeah, and I want Kansas City because I got them at 2.5, so I'm very happy with that line. All right, so moving on. Definitely have a bet in this game. We have the Chargers at Tennessee. I think Miami's really good, and I think Tennessee is really bad. Ipso facto,
I'll tell you this.
The Chargers are a bet for me. I think the Chargers can win even without Eckler, because Eckler might be out, just FYI.
Ryan Tannehill threw the ball 42 times last week. If your game plan, Mike Vrabel, is to have Ryan Tannehill throw the ball 40 times, you're going to lose.
You're going to lose.
Ryan Tannehill never in his career has been, I'm going to throw the ball 40 times a game quarterback, ever. So I think Vrabel pulls it back, but I still think the Chargers win this game.
The Chargers by 3,
I take Chargers with the points, because if it's decided, it's not going to be decided by a field goal.
Yeah, and the spreads, I make it a 5-point game to the Chargers. I just think Tennessee is bad, even on the road. I just think the Chargers...
The Chargers are disappointing. I mean, like, here's the thing. When are you going to start playing to your strengths, Brandon Staley?
He might have ran the ball a little too much last week. Just a little.
I don't get it. What is your idea here? Okay. Like, what are you doing with Herbert? What are you doing with Ekeler? What are you doing with the offense? That defense was playing against maybe the top offense in the NFL. And your answer in the second half was to come out and play conservative.
Stuff. But I will say, if you like Tennessee in this game, I would roll with Henry and DFS, because the Chargers' run defense did not look good. Now
Henry looked great last week too, and all reports of Henry's demise wrong. He had burst. He even caught 2 passes. That's unheard of for him.
Now people are talking a lot about Spears. Stay away from Spears. I don't think he's going to be relevant in this game whatsoever.
King Henry all day.
So all right, so that one. So I got the Chargers. Smash has got the Chargers.
But I think it's going to be a better Titans team. I just don't think they have. You just don't have the weapons in Tennessee at all. You just don't have the weapons. There aren't. It's King Henry and everyone else. Hopkins looked bad last week. Bad and uninterested. That's worse.
Yeah, well, be interesting. Now we have a really interesting game next. We have the Raiders at Buffalo. Let me tell you, I didn't bet this game for a very specific reason. Because I asked myself, how good is the New York Jets defense? And the answer?
It's the best in the NFL is the answer.
The answer is it's probably the best in the NFL. And because of that,
the answer is it is just as advertised. That defense was mixing up fronts, confusing. They were putting pressure where I didn't expect it to come from. Like it was the most complex defense I've ever seen on TV. I didn't get the chance to see the 46 Bears. I didn't get to see a chance to see the Rex Ryan-led Eagles. I did a little bit. I was 8. This is the most complex defense. It makes the 34 that was ran in Pittsburgh in the late 90s and the 34 that was ran with the Ravens in the early 2000s look simple. And every quarterback's going to have a problem against it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you resurrect Dan Marino from 1984 and put him back there. He is going to struggle against this defense. Okay? So I'm still sticking with the Buffalo Bills. I'm giving them, right now it's at 8.5. Why can't they win this game by 10?
I agree. I have it as an 11-point game, and I'm gonna give it to Chris Berman real quick here.
That no one circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
It may be the speaking.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
It may be the speaking, but I
know it.
I like Buffalo. I think they go big. I think Diggs has a huge game, but he's going to be expensive in daily. Maybe Kincaid. So Kincaid caught 4 passes last week. And I was high on him in the offseason.
Kincaid, I think, is a good bet this week. And I don't think Allen to Diggs is bad. You can find cheap options. Yeah, you can play Nico Collins.
How'd studs and duds work for you last week?
That was the only one that hit. Unfortunately, I didn't put it it was a 10 center. Should have put it in a double up.
No, I like Buffalo in this game. I think they just shred. I think
the Raiders are really bad.
If Devontae Adams is on the Las Vegas Raiders after the trade deadline, I will be so surprised.
Yeah.
You know who should make a run at Devontae Adams?
The Detroit Lions.
A team that has salary cap, a team that's hungry, a team that needs a number 1 receiver.
Fair enough.
Detroit Lions. Give my man some help.
He does need some help. We'll get to the Lions, but just based on your analysis of the Jets, we will get to the Jets because I don't have a math bet on the Jets. We know
exactly who the Jets are. We know who the Jets are. We know what they are. And they will be a team. I was wrong. They will be a team to contend.
All I can say is the Jets could still win 10 games with Zach Wilson as their quarterback. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they can. With that defense,
right. We'll get to them, though. Next, we have Miami at New England. Division game. I'm going to stick to my guns on this. New England sucks in the first 4 weeks of the year. And not only that, but they suck against good teams since Tom Brady left.
Yeah.
I'll take Miami all day at this number. At 2.5, I'll take this is another one I bet on Sunday. As soon as I saw Miami under 3, I smashed that bet button because
3. Miami's at 3 right now.
Yeah, I got value.
You got value. I'm still taking 3 all day.
Oh yeah, you could take.
Although,
honestly,
I will say a slick play in daily might be Hunter Henry, who looked great last weekend for the Patriots.
And Ramondre Stevenson didn't look bad either. Miami's run defense was horrendous. So I don't think New England could score with Miami, though. I think Miami, while I think the Jets have the best defense in the NFL, Miami probably has the best offense.
They got to compete against one other team. But
we'll see in week 8.
We'll see in week 8.
We'll see. Or before that, if we make a trade, but we'll see there. But I'm all over Miami in this game. Sounds like smashes, too.
Yeah, Miami all over. Like 3? Why is this line only at 3? What does it say? Why is it only at 3?
I have no idea. Because of Belichick.
Because Belichick stayed with the Eagles. That I'm sorry, like that's a completely different team. The Eagles like run the ball 55.
That's also might be the worst game you see the Eagles play all year.
Yeah, it's the first game of the year. Like, no.
If Belichick can't beat the Eagles in a good game.
7.5, if this line were at 7.5, I'd still be taking Miami.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd take this up to 10. I think this is completely misaligned.
Smashes stone cold lock of the century of the week. The Miami Dolphins over the New England Patriots by a touchdown or more.
I think this is probably my stone cold lock as well, but I got a couple. I'll let you have this one. I got some other ones. I think we're going to be in agreement in anyways. So we're both on Miami. You want to play the Miami stack? Sure, but I think there'll be better ones.
Expensive. Too expensive. Avoid it. Even if you're going studs and duds, they're going to be super expensive. Jalen Waddle, maybe just because he's going to be the cheaper option at receiver. I did get him in a couple lineups last week, and he played a really good game. Found the end zone for me. But it's expensive.
I would
avoid. Is it Mostert? I'm trying to remember which one it is this week.
Mostert probably.
Yeah, avoid
because Wilson's still hurt.
Yeah, avoid Mostert. Don't play him. I mean, he played fine last week, but their run defense is too good. It's their pass defense that sucks.
Hopefully we can cruise through these because I don't think there's going to be much here. We have the other Monday night game. Oh boy, New Orleans at Carolina.
I gotta say this. Both teams looked better than advertised last weekend.
I like Chris Olave still.
And Jamal looked good for the Saints.
Carolina's blocking is still really bad, and C.J. Stroud has the longest throwing motion ever.
It's like it is. He winds up and comes back, and I'm like, "What are you doing, bro? Get that football up at your ear!" Like,
yeah.
This
is Bryce Young. Sorry, Bryce Young. My bad.
Bryce Young. I knew who you were talking about. The Saints. I'm going Saints, and I'm taking the line. I'm going Saints to win the line.
I cannot, in good faith, take the New Orleans to win a game. I'm not taking them favored.
Defense is still good, though. Their defense is still good.
On the road.
Carr didn't play bad.
No, I like Carr. I think Carr might also be another cheap option against Carolina. I think a Carr Olave.
Saints at 3. This game's going to be decided by more than 3 points in favor of the Saints.
I just don't like betting on bad games.
If you can get Jamal for like 5,500, he might fall in the end zone twice for it.
Fair enough. But I don't have much on this game. I didn't even think it was worth handicapping. Now we have the Giants at Arizona. I do not like the spread in this game. No, I hate the spread. Which is funny because I'm going against myself because I liked it at 4, oddly enough. But I basically was telling myself at the beginning of the season, before Arizona played, I was like, I'll take Arizona -7 against anyone. Arizona's defense is pretty good. They
played just fine. I'll say, okay, I'm going to take the spread at 5.5 in favor of the Giants, reluctantly, in the hopes that last week was a complete aberration on the part
I think it is. Dable will not lose that, but he will not lose to Arizona. I don't think he'll lose to Arizona. Daniel Jones will be fine. That offensive line is not that bad.
Saquon looks slow.
Well, again, I think much like the Cincinnati game, much like the Buffalo game, it is week 1.
You can't overreact. I know.
Don't overreact too much. You know, I am saying this in a lot of games that I lost, but even so,
remember, this is not the time to overreact if you're betting.
Yeah.
It's just
the Giants. I think the Giants are still a much better team than Arizona, and I think that Arizona's home field advantage means 0. So that being said, I have to say that they're going to win. I just don't like 5.5. I would like it better at 3, 3.5. So I'm going to stay away from that game. Probably in fantasy too. Maybe Danny Dimes on the cheap. Maybe an Arizona receiver on the cheap. Maybe. I don't know.
Like, oh man, this
definitely
is
not Saquon.
this game.
I want nothing to do with Saquon.
You know, Saquon will be expensive too. I'm avoiding it in daily, but I am taking because it's not overreact time as a better. I'm taking the Giants to win by more than 5.5.
Let's see if our friend has anything to say about this. Oh, he's not there.
Oh, did he pop in? You thought he was there?
Thought he might have been there. I was going to ask Mick's opinion on that one.
He was
Mick,
sad last weekend. He was real sad.
You asked me how you cope with a bad franchise. The truth of the matter is you have no idea if your franchise is good or bad at all right now.
After 1 week, like
I'm a Lions fan now.
How?
Well, the same goes for fantasy too. Like the
Giants
Smash was already panicking because of X, Y, and Z last week, and I'm like, it's week 1.
As a man who recently snapped his Achilles once said, RELAX.
He's gonna get a lot of L.
Relax. He might be done too, but I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunate. I really like the Jets this year, but I still feel like the Jets.
We'll get to the Jets.
Maybe you should become a Jets fan, Mick.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, I will never do that. If I'm
They
going
have the best defense in the NFL. They have the best defense in the NFL. Why not?
fair, but they've won a Super Bowl. I'd rather go with an epically failing team. So tell me, who do I have to choose from?
We were world champions 6 times in the 1950s.
That's
Whoa!
I said Super Bowl
Global champions, galactic champions, for all we know.
Yeah.
You guys got me pulled into this. I'm not even on my camera or my mic. I was just like, all right, no, I'm in.
I saw you down there. I knew. We are going to kick you out for the rest of it, though, Mick.
Yeah.
Listen, tell me the truth right now. Do I bet on the Giants or not?
Yes, I think you do.
I bet the Giants 5.5 this week. I bet the Giants to win by more than 5.5. I literally have it pulled up.
Do I bet on the Lions this week? I missed that part.
100%.
We haven't
gotten the Lions yet. We will get to the Lions.
Okay, I'll let you guys talk about that. I'm a Lions fan now.
So hang in there, Mick.
Yeah, if you're going to be a Lions fan, you better hold on because there are always surprises on the Lions track.
Listen, there's nothing more glorious than the city of Detroit. I'm all for it. RoboCop.
We got to take Mick to Detroit someday.
There are some amazing places in Detroit.
I love it.
And they'll all be rocking this weekend.
They're all abandoned.
It better be a RoboCop statue in my future. That's all I'm saying.
All good. All right.
What are we on now? We
got a live look in it at Mick.
We didn't score yet.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Me, I took a beating.
Oh, poor Giants. They did. And
Poor Danny Dimes, man.
Micah Parsons, if he continues playing like this, will go down as the greatest defensive player of all time.
Ooh,
I watched Lawrence Taylor. Tim. He's better than Lawrence Taylor.
Fair enough.
I said it, ladies and gentlemen. Micah Parsons is a better off outside linebacker, Lawrence Taylor.
We'll see. Now that segues really well into the next thing, because we have the Jets at Dallas. So my number has no idea. I've marked the Jets down 3 points without Rodgers. It could be more. It could be less. I don't know. But I do know that the Jets defense is incredible. And I do know if the Jets are going to win this, they are going to win this ugly.
Yes.
In the total's 40. So I want to go a New York Jets money line win because you're going to get it's lined at 9 right now.
Yeah. Why is it at 9.5? Two amazing defenses. So get this straight. This is how bad Vegas is right now with this line. 9.5 is the spread, but the under is at 38.5. What do you think is going to happen in this game, Vegas? Do you think the Jets aren't going to score at all?
So this is what I say. I say money line Jets 100% because there's no point in taking the points. And I want Dallas, or I want a total under. I'm way under 40, or way under 38.5 even. I could say it. You might want to take an alternate under on this if you really want a lottery ticket. Take alternate under 20. Tell me this isn't a 10-7 game.
That's a 10-7 game.
Take Dak Prescott to throw an interception just to up it up a little bit more because he's going to throw one. He's going to throw
one pick in this game at least. Wilson is going to be protected. They are going to protect Wilson. They're going to keep a lot of max protect in. I bet you're going to see a lot of Breece Hall.
You can run it, Dallas. You can run the center of Dallas.
That's my
strength
thing.
is
Is
at
like
the
if you want to
edge.
shut down Micah Parsons and New York Giants, listen to me right now.
Jets.
I'm gonna go into smash coach mode.
The
okay?
Jets.
I'm just saying last week, if you want to shut down Micah Parsons, if you want to shut down an electric outside linebacker like that, you have to attack the A gap. You have to attack the A gap all day. They're like, whether you're running ISOs, whether you're running the smash play all day long, you're hitting that AB gap all day, and you're letting him get upfield on you. Eventually, he's going to sit back, and the second he does, you either hit him with a counter or you go over the top, and you got to be patient. That's what you do with an electric outside rusher like that. You have to attack, and you have 3 and outs. Guess what, Jets? You have a defense that can stick with it. The Giants might not have a defense that can stick with the Cowboys. That's the truth. Sorry. But you want to shut down Micah Parsons, you have to attack that gap all day. All day long. You hit it and you get the three and outs, whatever. You punt, you get your defense out on the field, and you shut down Dak. That's how you beat the Dallas Cowboys.
I 100% agree. I'm going Iowa style. Like,
yeah,
you play field position all day, and you get Zach Wilson on the right side of the 50, and all he has to do is score 1 touchdown and kick a field goal, I think.
You win this game 10-7. That's how you beat the Dallas Cowboys this season. Mark my words.
So in some form of combination of what we just said, make yourself at least a 10-1 parlay on this.
I love it. I'm taking the Jets money line. I honestly think they're going to win this football game because Dak Prescott is terrible. You can't rely on your special teams to score the same way the Cowboys scored last week against the Giants. And I do think the Jets defense is better than the Cowboys defense. So all things considered, your question comes down to, can Wilson play and not turn the ball over? And I think they can. I think he can.
If he hands the ball off 40 times, I mean, why wouldn't you just jam Cook and as hard as you just keep hitting the hole with those 2 players over and over and over again? You have 2 running backs, use them.
I think Dallas is not the better team on either side of the ball. The Jets have the second best offensive line in the NFL.
Because you can't even take the top off the Jets defense because Sauce Gardner's there.
No, not even just Sauce. They are so deep on defense, it is ridiculous. And I thought, I was like, no way. No, I was wrong. I will admit that. New York Jets, crown you.
I don't think the Jets can win the Super Bowl, though. I will say in futures.
Well, and here's the conversation you wanted to have. Do they go out and find a starter, or do they go out and find a backup? I say go out and trade for the Heineke life.
I think Taylor could do it. Why not?
East Coast football. He's played East Coast football already. Already played East Coast football. He doesn't turn the ball over in bad situations. So even if he's just your backup, you're sitting better than you are right now.
I heard there's a man who currently owns a portion of the Raiders that could take this team to a Super Bowl.
But that you better believe that people have said it. No way does Tom Brady come out. Think about that, though. So Tom Brady comes out. I hate Tom Brady. You know this. But Tom Brady comes out of retirement, takes him to the Super Bowl, wins it. They have Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady on their roster. And Tom Brady decides he doesn't want to retire.
What do we do? What do we do?
What a narrative! What a narrative that would be. Do you go with
the NFL scriptwriters couldn't have even written that,
or could they?
Maybe that's the case. But I like my math is out the window here. I have no idea. This is purely narrative driven.
Too many variables. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with the defense. Sauce Gardner, I probably should have put money on him for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. I didn't get money on him for it.
Just for everyone's information, this game was lined at 3 with Dallas at home. That means on a neutral, these teams were even. I don't know if any quarterback's worth 9 points.
No.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I didn't like it. I just think Dak's bad, and it's not that Wilson is good. It's just Dak's that bad.
9 is a bridge way too far.
No, that's why you take the money line. You take the money line. I can't believe there's any action for Cowboys at 9.5.
Well, there must have been because it keeps going up. Next,
people are huge Cowboy homers, so
we're 2 games away from the big one, guys. So don't worry about it. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Next, we have San Francisco at the Rams, and it's lined at 7.5. I still like San Francisco under 10, man. But I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you, I know you're hesitant. Remember, it's not time to overreact. Niners points all day. The Niners are not Seattle. The Niners looked like a perfect football team last year.
I was going to say, the Niners might be the best team in the NFL.
They have the second or third best defense. They have a top 5 offense, and I mean that. I don't care. I'm at the attitude where you could put whatever quarterback you put Dak in San Francisco.
But I think Purdy works perfectly because he won't question the system. He has no leg to stand on, so he just goes, "What? Yes, coach."
And this man said he reminds him of him.
Well, there you go. I think as much as the intro to this show says otherwise, Brock Purdy has made a believer out of me. I like Brock.
Purdy played phenomenal last week.
Played great.
Economical. Made Brandon Ayuk look like an all-star. Yeah.
That being in fantasy, I think it's kind of junk outside of maybe McCaffrey because you just don't know who's going to score. You don't know who's going to score.
I don't bet. In daily, I might take Ayuk again just because they're going to be honing in on McCaffrey. Had a great game last week, but they're going to be honing on McCaffrey. They're going to be honing in on Debo. So Ayuk's going to get more looks again. They're playing a slightly better defense, in my opinion, than the Rams, but I don't care. If this line were at 11.5, I'd still be taking the 40.
I just think the Niners, they don't even have to go that far. The Rams have no whole field advantage.
The Rams have Stafford, and that is it. Now, he proved last week that he is still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but he is one hit away from no longer being on the field.
And that also, like that being said, Puka Nacua is a great pickup. Just don't play him this week.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I got him on multiple fantasy teams. I think Stafford could hook up with him even after Cooper Kupp comes back.
I think Stafford, people don't get, we watched him for so many years. Matt Stafford does more with less.
Look how good Golden Tate was. And I like Tate.
He just does, like, Stafford does more than less compared to everybody else in the NFL. And
Higbee's still there too.
Higbee had a great game last week. Their offensive line is still solid. Like, I mean, I want to know this. What is Cam Akers' problem?
I have no idea.
Can he only play in the second half of the season or something? He was terrible last week.
Yeah, but my takeaway from this game is like Smash said, don't overreact. San Francisco is very, very good. They probably can beat any team by 14 points.
They are angry. I said it last week. They're mad. They're going to be playing mad all season. They thought they should have been in the Super Bowl, and they probably should have been. Like, Niners, man, all season.
That being said, the Rams are also better than I thought they were.
Well, they're just old. That's the problem.
Until Matt Stafford gets injured, they could win over 7 games. They could beat Seattle again at their house.
Yep.
So there's 2 wins right there. And they always play San Francisco, or not San Francisco. They always play someone else tough. I can't remember but
Stafford is a gamer. The dude games, and like I feel real bad, but you know, it is what it is. Like the Niners are gonna own them.
Once again, another non-overreaction game. Before we get to the game.
The game
is Washington at Denver.
Washington was a surprise last week.
Washington played more poorly than I thought they would, but it was week 1.
Yep.
And Arizona looked better than I thought they would. What if Arizona and Denver are just as good as each other?
Denver looked real bad.
And so what's that? Oh, there's Russ Wilson. Oh, no! That's called an interception.
And got cooked by Patrick Starr.
I was wrong. I said Russ would cook last week. He did not. And he looked like the same quarterback from last season, FYI. Now, Javonte Williams played pretty well.
Russ Westbrook can't cook spaghetti with pre-made sauce.
Russell Wilson is now an average quarterback in the NFL. He is no longer Russ. I take the Commanders money line.
I take the Commanders because they're not favored. They're giving that Denver, 3.5 points?
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Has anyone else watched Denver? Am I taking crazy pills here?
Well, don't forget, Denver also has a really good defense.
Get over here.
How long will Denver's defense continue to play for them?
I feel really bad. I feel really bad for their defense. I'll tell you that, because they're not bad. They are not a bad defense.
Now, what you might want to think about though is picking up Stidham and putting him on your bench. I think that, and this is You Better You Bet's been talking about this a lot, and I think it's a really good take. I think Russell Wilson might be on the bench week 6. I think Sean Payton tells the administration, he goes, "I'm done." He's like, I want to start fresh, and they're going to back Payton over their.
How about
over
this?
Wilson.
The New York Jets reach out to the Denver Broncos.
But is Russell Wilson any better?
He doesn't turn the ball over. You can at least say that he does not turn the ball over.
Yeah, because he doesn't throw it accurate enough for even the defenders to get it.
But that's a huge thing. Like, I don't know. I that's a huge contract too, though. I mean,
But Sean Payton, I think, means more to that franchise currently than Russell Wilson does.
You should. Russell Wilson's been an embarrassment.
So that being said, I'm on Washington. I'm on any team favored over, if Denver's favored, I want the other side.
Until Denver wins, every team.
Every team. Blind bet. Now, let's get to the main event here. Forward down the field.
I think so. Here's a hard part. The Seattle Seahawks have historically been an extremely difficult team for the Detroit Lions. However, this is a different Detroit Lions team.
I said throw history out the door. It doesn't even exist.
Yep. Throw it out the door.
Hey man, welcome to Detroit.
I think the Lions win and
cover easily.
Yeah.
Take the over
all day.
And cheap receivers too. I think Reynolds is like 3,000 and Khalif Raymond is like 1,000.
Like,
someone could fall in the end zone, right?
I like Jahmyr Gibbs in this game a lot.
Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to touch the ball a lot this game.
So Dan Campbell said in an interview, they had that plan for Jahmyr Gibbs from like the start. They knew they were going to put him on a snap count. They knew they were just going to introduce him slowly. He showed that he has explosiveness. He said, next week we're going to unleash him. And that was his word, unleash. I want Jahmyr Gibbs unleashed because
and Dan Campbell's a lot of things, but he's not a liar.
He's not a liar. He's the kind of guy that'd be like, okay, here's my play. Stop me. Like, that's it. Like, I've met coaches like that in my career. Here's my play. Stop me. Coaches that run 5 plays in rotation. Like, this is the play we're gonna run.
The stadium is sold out. Dan Campbell is expecting Ford Field to be louder than Arrowhead.
Oh, it will be for sure. I've been at Ford Field when it is sold out. It is deafening. I think Geno's going to struggle, but I will say this: their receivers are better than Kansas City's.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, but I am drinking Corktoberfest through Detroit. It is a crisp 67, and it is going to stay in the 70s in Michigan. I know that doesn't matter in a dome, but the tailgaters are going to be feeling good.
Oh, they're going to be feeling real good. Like, I like the Lions in this game. The line right now is at 5.5.
I like it up to 7 at least.
I like it. Like, the game won't be decided by a field goal. Like, so last year's game was what, 44-39 or something like that?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be high scoring.
It's going to be a high scoring game.
Or maybe not, because the other angle to this game is that 2 of the tackles for Seattle are out. Aiden Hutchinson is about to eat.
And he had a. I know people are like, he didn't get a sack against Patrick Mahomes. Nobody sacks Patrick Mahomes. Nobody does. Well, Aaron Donald didn't sack Patrick Mahomes.
On top of the fact that Patrick Mahomes is a great scrambler, we also have the fact that their left tackle is allowed to leave 0.5 seconds.
I don't want to talk about that. Because I also didn't like the fact that they let him get away with it for 4 quarters and then called it the last drive. I did not like that. As a coach, you haven't called it out. Now, he did leave the stance that last snap like way early, but you've let him get away with it the whole game. Don't call it on a play that
it was a bridge too far.
Like,
also,
people said
Geno ain't getting that call.
No, Geno doesn't get that call. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not
in Detroit.
I do want to see this defense and see it because this new zone look that they're using with the corners. I wonder how they're going to keep the lid. So if you want to play contrarian to what we're saying, Tyler Lockett is a great play this week because DK is their deep threat. Tyler Lockett is their underneath guy. The Lions are going to be playing a lot of cover 3 against this defense. They're going to keep a shell over the top of DK. They're not going to let DK beat them. They look better against the run than expected. So I don't like Kenneth Walker this week, but I do like Tyler Lockett as a counter play because he's going to catch 8-9 passes underneath.
See, Smash apparently is reading my DFS because the first stack I put together this week was a Jared Goff stack with the run back with Lockett. I think it works perfectly. You can have Montgomery in this game too. Montgomery's 5,800.
It's going to be a shootout. I think
the Lions win this like 40 to 17.
It's going to be. I see it more like a 40 to 28 situation. I love like the Lions defense played inspired football last week. Don't get me wrong, and it's the first home game of the year. Maybe they come out and they really shut this offense down. Pete Carroll is just as good of a coach as Andy Reid. And Pete Carroll.
He's dealing with Hutchie this week.
I hope you're right. I just I'll tell you this: the over right now If Vegas agrees with me, the over right now is 47.5. I'd put the over at 52. Why not?
People are going to keep betting it.
I'd bet the over all day at that. And what are the chances the Lions 2 weeks in a row shut down 2 premier offense?
I think it's pretty high.
I hope you're right. I
also just think Seattle's bad. I don't think the Rams were slightly better than I thought they would be, but I also think the Seahawks were much worse than I thought they were going to be.
The Lions were pumped to beat the Chiefs. I think they come back down to earth a little bit. I mean, I'm just trying to temper my expectations. I think they win the game. I just don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as big of a cakewalk as others think it's going to be, because in large part they always struggle against the Seahawks. Pete Carroll's a hell of a football coach.
Throw history out the window.
I know, but like Pete Carroll, man, I don't know. It's really hard to bet against Pete Carroll. Like, I like the Lions. I like the spread, but I think it's going to be closer than what people.
Fair enough. And with that, we'll go through just real quick the bets that Math has. I got Tampa over Chicago with the points. I got Atlanta taking points against Green Bay. I got the Chargers over Tennessee. I got Buffalo to dump truck the Raiders. I got Miami to blitz New England. Let's see what else we got here. Philly is going to annihilate Minnesota. I guess that's a good word. Seattle's going down big time. We got Detroit by 2.5 at least. Got plenty of room on that line, in my opinion. San Francisco is going to dump truck the Rams, and Washington is going to show us that it's always a good idea to bet against Denver and Russell Wilson.
Russ will not cook.
Russ will not cook. And with that, we're going to leave you all. Like I said, smash that like button. It's this way. I always do this. Smash the like button. Check out Betting Bros 9183 on X or Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, check out the Scene Snobs and all their shows. And that's all I got for you guys. Cheers.